The Red Wings play host to those bad boys from the Windy City live at Joe Louis Arena Tuesday night at 7:30 on Fox 50, where we put sports in your face. Guests on Sports Extra will receive gift certificates from Joseph A. Bank Clothiers. Joseph A. Bank. There is no status in overpaying.
Home sweet home. The Lions ground the Jets to cap a perfect Silverdome schedule. Coach Wayne Font stops by to discuss today's deed done at the Dome. Elsewhere, the Bears win to keep pace in the Central, while the Eagles soar against the Giants in the East, and the Saints' collapse continues against the Cowboys. And the Red Wings remain red hot on the ice, so don't put up a fight. Sports Extras next.
Hi, everybody. Glad you could join us for tonight's Sports Extra. Hope you've had a great weekend. For the first time since 1970, the Detroit Lions have 10 victories in the season. And last week, Coach Wayne Fonts even talked about the Super Bowl. We thought we'd check with you fans tonight and get your response on our extra fan line. Very simple. Fonts has said the Lions are good enough to reach the Super Bowl. We'd like to know what you think, yes or no. And the fan line number is open. You can call 298-6050. That's 298-6050. We'll have the results of our poll before we leave the air tonight. Yes, it was hard-hitting. Regular season finale out the Silverdome this afternoon. But the Lions continue to perform perfectly at home, sweet home at the Silverdome. And after a shaky first half, or maybe we should say even first half, the Lions won their 10th of the season. For the first time for 10 wins since 1970. And we're going to see all the action of that and visit with the coach a little bit later on. But you know, on this Sunday, there was a lot of other activity taking place in the National Football League, and one of those games involved the Chicago Bears. The Bears rebounded today, still a good chance to capture their 7th division title in 8 years. Green Bay Packers were the victims in this one. Let's take a look at this action for you. Packers took a 10-7 lead in the second quarter. Tom Zach to Jackie Harris. 6 minutes later, Brad Muster got his second touchdown on a 6-yard effort to the goal line. Bears took a 21-10 lead before the half, and then Jim Harbaugh went on top for a 20-yard strike to Wendell Davis. And the final scoring of the game came in the third quarter when Harbaugh found Davis again, this one good for 35 yards. And the Bears were on their way to their 10th victory also. Final score, Bears over the Packers 27-13. Harbaugh 16 of 25 for 209 yards. Not too shabby. Dallas Cowboys took a first quarter lead against New Orleans. Burline to Johnson. Saints closed to within 3. Then, a little bit later on, when Steve Walsh connected with Eric Martin on this 8-yard aerial. But the clincher came in the fourth quarter on Tommy Agee's 4-yard cruising. Yes, it was a touchdown. Dallas won its 3rd straight. Final, Cowboys 23-14 over the Saints. And for the 4th straight week, New Orleans fails clinching the NFC West title. The New York Giants started fast with this Phil Simms 8-yard strike to Dave Meggett. 7-0 after the quarter. Giants on top. And Rich Kotite really wasn't worried. Why should he? As Calvin Williams got the call. On TD, it was 8 yards out. And field goals really made the difference the rest of this game. Show you why. The Eagles topped the Giants 19-14 as Philly's hero turns out to be Roger Ruzek with 4 deciding field goals. By the way, at Anaheim, California, the Atlanta Falcons buried the Rams 31-14. Falcon Chris Miller with 2 TD passes and 271 yards in the air. Don't look now, but the Niners are charging. Final minute of Seattle. Steve Bono hits John Taylor for the touchdown, and Briscoe is up by 2 points. Dave Krieg trying to rally the Seahawks. Gains ground on the scramble, but then gets stripped from behind. Niners recover and move to, that's right, their record is now 8-6. Up on the scoreboard, San Francisco beats Seattle. It reads this way, 24-22. Bono with that winning toss with 68 seconds remaining. Washington Redskins go 13-1 and clinched home field advantage throughout the NFC playoffs by belting Phoenix 20-14. And so the NFC playoff picture looks this way tonight. Washington 13-1, and then the Bears and Lions both at 10-4. New Orleans at 9-5. Don't go away because Dallas goes 9-5. along with the surprising Atlanta Falcons, 9-5, and San Francisco with that victory, now 8-6. The Buffalo Bills and L.A. Raiders had a real Donnybrook today, and Buffalo finally won in overtime. Let's take a look. Raiders were rolling early. Jay Schroeder on the seemingly simple crossing pattern to Tim Brown. But Brown had other ideas, shifting gears down the sidelines and turning the pass into a 78-yard touchdown. Yes, it was 10-0 L.A., but on the ensuing kickoff, the Bills' Al Edwards follows his blockers, cuts outside, and see you later. Edwards scampers, you count them, 91 yards and makes it 10-7. Game went to overtime where Scott Norwood atones for 3 earlier misses, connects from 41 yards out to win the game. On the board, Buffalo over the L.A. Raiders 30-27. Scott Norwood's 42-yard field goal in OT with 2:33 wins it. The Denver Broncos return to the playoffs for the 4th time in 6 years with a 17-7 decision over Cleveland. At Houston, Alan Pinkett oiled up for the Oilers, rushing for 98 yards and 2 TDs. Pinkett's runs for 6 and 7 and 11 yards out. And Al Smith wrapped up the scoring for the day when he gathered up a Steeler fumble and went 70 yards on the return. All Houston in this ball game. Houston clinches its first AFC Central Division title with a 31-6 decision over the Steelers. New England defeated Indianapolis 23-17 in overtime, and Kansas City, also in overtime, got by San Diego 20-17. Nick Laurie's 18-yard field goal, the difference there. And a game going right now with Minnesota and Tampa Bay. Minnesota leading in the 4th quarter, 20-17 over the Bucks. Miami and Cincinnati, the Monday night game. Somebody mentioned the Detroit Lions? You bet. We've got the action, we've got the highlights, plus Lions coach Wayne Fontes will be stopping by. So don't go away.
On the next Saved by the Bell, wedding bells are ringing.
I'm here to marry you.
Well, you're not my type.
Do you dudes
You bet. I guess.
take these hot babes
Lisa no encanta.
for a week of marital bliss?
Haven't you ever heard of the women's movement?
Well, sure. Put on something cute and move it into the kitchen.
On Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell, weekdays at 5, starting Monday on Fox 50. Sports Extra is brought to you by Detroit Dodge. See one of your Tri-County Dodge dealers where it's Advantage Dodge. And by Northwest Airlines, flying more people to Asia from the U.S. than any other airlines.
Yes, you're probably
34-20 the final score. You saw the highlights already, and I think you'd have to look around and say it's been a long time since you saw such a physical ball game, and it's been a long time since the Lions have won 10 games in one season, over 2 decades. Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you very much, Ray. It was a fine football game. You know, I told the team after the game that I thought this game was the best game we played all year. It was better than the Chicago Bear game, and hopefully we could play better next week in Green Bay. But it was a hard-fought game. We came out of a lot of injuries, but the players played extremely hard, and I am very proud of this football team.
Why do you say it was better played than the Bears game?
Well, team-wise, I mean, we lost some players. We got cramps. Other guys went in. We ended up with Toby Caston as a pass rusher. Our linebackers got hurt. Our defensive backs were all down and out. They came back. It was the type of game that everybody picked up. They all took it to another level. And it's just one of those things where every once in a while you get a team performance that outperforms an individual performance. And this is what we did. We had a team performance today, Ray.
I know you talked about fellows that are hurt, but you've got one, Jerry Ball, your all-pro up in the middle there. Is he gone for the year?
I think he is, Ray. I'll know more tomorrow. I think Jerry took a hit right on the knee. I haven't seen the tape of the game yet. I'll see it later, and then I'll decide if I want to call the commissioner or not. I don't know if it was a hit or clean hit or not. Everybody that was at the ballgame said it was a bad hit. I don't know that. But first of all, I like to say this. I like to give credit, of course, to this football team, but I like to mention the guys that are coaching for me, and they're doing a tremendous job, Ray. And my defensive coordinator, Woody Woodenhofer, my defensive backfield coach, my brother Lenny Fontes, Herb Patera, my linebacker coach, doing a great job. My line coach, Lamar Leachman, his aide, Bert Hill, who also is my weight training coach. Offensively, my coordinator, Dave Levy's doing just a great job. My line coach, Jerry Wamford, receiver coach, Charlie Sanders, quarterback coach, Raymond Berry, and also Billy Matthews, my running back coach. And we have Dave Jamont also helps. So it's a great staff. They're doing a great job. And the guy that does a tremendous job for us preparing our defense during practice is Don Clemens. So I just want to mention those guys.
You want to say anything about your special teams coach?
I was going to save and wait for him last. He's doing a great job for us. Frank Gantz is second to none. The special teams play so hard you can't believe it. And they play so well they stayed away from Malgrave the whole ballgame.
Guys, I want to let you know right now, I can't say this, but he said you're going to have big bonuses coming up at the end of the year. Okay?
Oh, God. I hope the owner's watching that. But it was a great game for us, Ray. And we had a lot of guys cramp up in the ball game, especially our defensive backs, and George Jameson also cramped up. I hope the fans understand we are in great shape. This team is in great shape. The defensive backs did not practice all week because they've been hurt. So when you don't practice, it could happen to you in that heat we had today.
Okay, you also lose Eric Sanders, right?
Oh, without a doubt. And I think losing Eric hurts us. He's our starting right tackle. He's also a center on snaps. So the thing we have to do tomorrow is we are trying to find another football player.
10 wins, and now you go on the road for the final two games of the regular season, and you've got a pretty good banged-up ball club right now.
Without a doubt. You know, Ray, I remember a couple of years ago we played played Cincinnati Bengals right before Thanksgiving. We must have lost 5 or 6, 8 players in that ball game. Something about this football team. They'll come back. They'll patch up and they'll play. Jerry Ball, of course, will not play, and I know Eric Sanders will not play. We're going to lose those two guys. Two very super football players. Jerry Ball, without a doubt, heading for the Pro Bowl, and he may be out for the season, and we may have to fix that knee up and see if he can come back next year. But it's a team that they believe in each other. It's a team that had a commitment when the season started, and I think you'll see most of those guys come back to play.
How do you get that team now to the next level? Because you've got to get them to the next level as far as a team effort for the final two games, and especially against the Packers.
Without a doubt. Green Bay, of course, they're always a dangerous team for us, especially outdoors. We're going to play outdoors. We haven't played outdoors in a while, especially in the cold. This team has to take it to another level. I told the team for us to win, we must get better and better each week, and they're doing that. Now, we've lost a couple players, but I look for this team, Ray, to bounce back, to take it to another level, and to win.
Wayne, talk about your offense in this game today.
You know,
what you liked maybe and didn't like?
All week long, we worked harder on our passing game. I thought Eric Kramer threw the ball better, threw it well early. In the second half, we didn't throw as well, but we controlled the ball more in the second half. We didn't want to take chances to give the ball away in the second half. I think Eric's getting better. The thing we have to do to make Barry a better player is to throw the ball better. And I thought in this ball game, we threw it better early.
Defensive-wise?
Best game they played all year, without a doubt. That we can talk about the Chicago game, we can go to this game, that game, Minnesota game. This game, the defense came of age. It is a better defense than I've been associated with. Our defensive coaches are doing one whale of a job, and probably the players are playing.
Packers up in the frozen north. What do you have to say about this game?
Excuse me, before the season started, when we got the schedule, we found out we had to go to Green Bay in the winter, dead of winter, and Buffalo in dead of winter, and we said, my God, if it comes down to these two games, will we perform? I think the Lions will perform those two last games.
We talked about Mike Utley and helping his foundation a little earlier, and Ray, just before we leave the air, I think, once again, Coach, you have some words you want to talk about the Utley Foundation and some of the hats and the T-shirts and sweatshirts that are available.
Oh, without a doubt. Mike Utley, I'm going to put this on, Ray, because I'm proud. Mike Utley has given us tremendous strength. I've been to visit this young man, and he's a class young man, and he's given this team strength just by he's acting. And this team loves Mike Utley. He's part of this team. He's part of our winning. And so to Mike Utley, thumbs up to you, partner. We love you. We miss you. God bless you.
Coach, good luck next week in Green Bay.
Thank you very much.
Keep it going.
We can do that. We'll be all right. Thanks, partner.
Don't forget, we're going to also have the result of that poll about Super Bowl and the Detroit Lions. Also, we've got some college stories about some very important awards. So don't go away.
Now another moment to remember with America's favorite family.
Tomorrow night, we're going to our high school reunion, and I want us to look nice. So get your suit out of the hamper and iron it.
Mosey down memory lane with the Bundys.
Peggy, wanker, don't bother to thank her. Connie Bender, bring a friend, it won't offend her.
On the next Married with Children.
Monday at 7 on Fox 50.
Yeah, with scores like we had today, the Lions moving right up there with the Northwest Charities, and we thank both the Lions and, of course, Northwest Charities for adding to that total right now. Big win. That means the Lions stay undefeated at home for the first time since 1962. That was way back at Tiger Stadium. Bob Trimble was on hand. He's got the highlights for you right now.
With the season somewhat lacking in style and, more importantly, victories, Piston backcourt mates Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars hoping some Lions championship fever would rub off on the sidelines. Certainly things going right early on for Detroit. Following a Blair Thomas fumble at the Jets' 26, the Lions find the end zone with Barry Sanders jitterbugging his way 14 yards for the score, 7-0 less than 4 minutes in. Next possession, same man, same result, however, a tad longer. This effort covering 52 yards for Sanders as he eclipses his own single-season record with his 15th rushing TD.
Just a draw to the right. I'm thinking I went to the outside on the guy, and the defensive backs did a good job of shooting the guys off. And I remember seeing Lomas get ready to block somebody, and I passed by him, you know, but I pretty much went in the end zone untouched.
Then some trouble, big trouble, as Pro Bowl nose tackle Jerry Ball gets chop blocked by running back Brad Baxter late in the first. Just a dirty play, pure and simple. Ball distraught and angry. He's out for the season with a damaged right knee.
I think we need to pay more attention to the illegal stuff that happens in the game than the celebration after a damn touchdown and, you know, the little bull that they worry about, and really regulate the game more than what they've been doing.
The momentum shifting then with 2 quick New York touchdowns, the second off an Eric Kramer errant spiral. Eric McMillan returns at 57 yards, and we're all even at 14 early in the second quarter. But this Detroit team rebounds, Kramer delivering to Willie Green on a pass and run covering 73 yards. Green wide open and the advantage 10 at the break. Third quarter now and up 27-17. The fired-up defense comes through with Ken O'Brien and Baxter blowing the handoff, and Tracy Hayworth pounces on it. He travels the final 28 yards unscathed. The silver and blue sewing it up, much to the delight of the Silverdome crowd.
Oh, well, you know, it was really just going to be a pass rush situation, and the ball happened to be there. I picked it up and ran for the score. You know, I couldn't believe it once I got there, but it happened.
You ever run that fast in your life after a ball?
To this day, I don't think I have.
And so once again, despite a continuation of the injury jinx, the Lions prevail in this one. Team character showing through for the first undefeated home season since way back in 1962. The dead heat for first place in the NFC Central still on between the Lions and the Bears. Gotta love it. Reporting from Pontiac, this is Bob Trimble for the Sports Extra.
And a couple of Detroit Lions who know, well, I should say maybe a couple of Detroit Pistons who know what the championship feeling is. We're on the sideline today at that Lions-Jet game, and it was Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars.
Well, the Lions have always been very supportive of the Pistons in the times that we were in the playoffs and going for a championship. Guys have always been very supportive of us coming into the locker room. So it's just time for us to return the favor now.
When it first happened, we were in Indianapolis, and I think Lambeer said, hey, we should get together and try to do something. And we're still trying to do that right now. But it was the last home game, Isaiah and I just wanted to come out and catch a game and support the Lions.
Well, last week, the Mike Utley Foundation was formed with the injured Detroit Lion assuming the executive director's role to aid those people who are sidelined with spinal injuries and illnesses. Mike continues his rehabilitation and is looking for some assistance at getting the foundation rolling. And you can help by purchasing one of these T-shirts. Available at many of the Detroit area sporting goods and department stores. Really good looking. Got Mike with the long hair and the earring on there, too. The shirts or sweatshirts are available by mail order by phoning 1-800-632-7378. And I certainly know that Mike will appreciate your help. Well, the Red Wings are red hot. They're starting to make believers out of a lot of people. We'll have that story, so don't go away.
Limousine service for Sports Extra guests has been provided by Barrington Limousine of Warren. Barrington Limousine, new heights in elegance, 751-5554.
Well, the Detroit Red Wings are starting to make believers out of a lot of people, and Brian Murray is even cracking a smile once in a while. The Wings on top of the Norris Division with a 5-point lead over St. Louis, and why not with play like this? 3 points over the weekend, Friday night at Joe Louis. Great overtime win against the Rangers. Fedek with a winner in OT. And then yesterday, a 2-2 tie against New Jersey on the road. Bob Probert collected an all-important second period goal. And at this point, it was a 1-1 game. Then Steve Eiserman registered his 16th goal of the campaign, and Detroit had a 2-1 lead in that second, but the Wings settled for a tie. Not all that bad. At Chicago tonight, the Hawks on the power play. Stars goalie John Casey out of position, allowing Steve Armour to score, and that was on the power play. Again, the Chicago power play, Jeremy Roenick, my man, by the way, scores his 5th goal in 2 nights, with Chelios and Larmer on the assist. So on the scoreboard tonight, we've got Chicago leading Minnesota 5-1 that game in the 3rd period. Other games for you, Calgary in front of Buffalo 3-2 in the 3rd, make it 4-2 now. New Jersey Devils tie Philadelphia, a final 2-2. New York Rangers leading Boston 4-0. That's over with now. They've won it 4-0 over Boston. Edmonton, final score is knocked off the Sharks of San Jose 3-1. And Washington trailing Winnipeg 3-2 that game now in the 3rd period. Well, our fan line poll tonight was asking if the Lions are Super Bowl material. We asked for your phone calls. Either give us a yes or a no. And the results look this way. 60% of you said yes, they are a Super Bowl team. And 40% of you said, no way, Jose, the Lions are not. So we will thank you for calling. 60-40 say yes, and we shall see the results in the next few weeks. While the Detroit Pistons are getting ready for their 4-game Western road trip, that begins Tuesday night in Phoenix. 2 games in the NBA tonight. Milwaukee playing at San Antonio, that game right now in the 3rd quarter, and Milwaukee leading by 11 points. And later on, Dallas playing at Los Angeles. On the links today, Billy Adrian and Chris Shetter parred the second playoff hole, the second playoff hole, and that was the $1.1 million J.C. Penney Golf Classic today to beat Ed Humanick and Elaine Crosby in the PGA's LPGA team event at Tarpon Springs, Florida. And with Desmond Howard awaiting the Heisman Trophy next Saturday, the Des collected the Maxwell Trophy last night. Eric Anderson won the Dick Butkus Linebacking Award, and a Lombardi Award for the outstanding lineman went to Washington's Steve Edmond. Well, that's it for our Sports Extra for tonight. We thank you very much for joining us, and I hope that you'll look in again next Sunday night. Until then, good night, everybody.